The member for Greenway.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Over the recess, I had the opportunity to be out and about in the community, and specifically in Glenwood and Stanhope Gardens only recently. And as you would know, Madam Deputy Speaker, it's rare that you get constituents coming up to you with a single local issue that is of such concern to them that you have residents literally lining up to tell you their views on something, to agree with the person beforehand, and are clearly very sincerely impacted and concerned about an issue. This is exactly what is happening in Glenwood and Stanhope Gardens when it comes to the New South Wales Planning Department's rezoning proposal. In particular, in Glenwood, that I obviously know very well, the streets around Glenwood and the entry and egress for the suburb mean that residents are stuck in traffic jams even as soon as they leave their own driveways. This is an issue that is occupying forums such as the Glenwood Community Group. It's one that has been raised consistently with my office, and I know the office of my state counterpart, the member for Riverstone, Warren Kirby. And I think it's important that we be very clear. Addressing the critical housing shortage is a responsibility of all levels of government. As someone who came from local government, I can tell this chamber that North West Sydney has been and continues to do the heavy lifting when it comes to housing supply in Sydney. In New South Wales, we know that there is a desire to increase housing supply in areas that already have schools, roads and hospitals in place, and that is an important priority of the New South Wales State Labor government. But through its proposed rezoning policy, known as the TOD, or the Transport-Oriented Development State Environment Planning Policy, the New South Wales Department of Planning wants to rezone Stanhope Gardens and Glenwood for high-rise and mid-rise apartments. Now, the reality is that North West Sydney Growth Corridor cannot cope with unsupported urban sprawl. And for over a decade, the former Liberal state government presided over an explosion of housing in my electorate without the urban planning and the critical infrastructure that's needed for growth. This will have a negative impact on the lives of existing and future residents. I've had residents writing to me concerned about the lack of school places and describing the rezoning as a disaster if no appropriate road infrastructure is in place. Now, because of your support and our advocacy, the department has agreed to an extension on the consultation period. I've launched a petition calling for Stanhope Gardens and Glenwood to be removed from the proposal, and I encourage all concerned constituents to sign this and to know that I will continue advocating on their behalf on this important issue.